Welcome on in, guys, to another banger video. This video is going to be slightly different because it's more going to be centered around discussion, particularly about the Uzumaki anime adaptation. Now, for those of you who have been following the channel for at least a few months, I made a video back in August where I made some predictions about the anime, what I think will happen with the Uzumaki anime adaptation. I was more concerned about the episode count more than anything because 4 episodes is honestly not much to work with. So fast forward to the present, and safe to say that after the dust has settled, it's been like 2 months since the anime fully released, and yeah, it has not been received very well, especially considering the drop in quality after episode 1. So starting off with the first episode, honestly the first episode was a banger. After I watched it, I was surprised as to how good it was. It was only 20 minutes, which was a shame, and it still left me a little concerned for the rest of the anime, but the way they made everything work in that episode, it actually worked pretty well. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of this, but they took multiple stories from Uzumaki and they kind of melded them all into one episode, so you have multiple stories taking place within that single episode. It was an interesting take, and I think episode 1 did it pretty well, but everything fell apart after that. I mean, overall it makes sense that they took this approach because obviously they can't have an episode for each story. There's just too many stories to cover, and I think they kind of bit off more than they can chew because 4 episodes again is not gonna be able to completely adapt the manga. So moving on to episode 2, this is where the storm hit the fan. But yeah, this was a very controversial episode. The moment it aired, I saw all the hate online on Reddit, Twitter, like all these social media platforms, and people were making posts about specific like clips within that episode where the animation quality dropped quite a bit, to the point where it just looked like they had GIF images or PNG images just sliding across the screen. It looks very jarring, unprofessional, and not good. Especially considering that the anime was delayed multiple times, and you know, this was just a slap on the face for the fans. The animation, I believe, is one part of it. The other part of it is the pacing and the fact that they're cutting content out just to make stories fit in the episode. In regards to episode 3, I think the animation quality slightly improved kind of, but the pacing of the stories was still off. It just wasn't good. Like, there was too many stories and they tried so hard to fit everything into one episode and make it cohesive, but it just didn't work. Like, half the time I'm confused. Like, there's always constantly something new happening. There's not enough time to process it. You're introduced to these new characters, then this happens, then that happens. Like, the pacing is all over the place. Finally, we have episode 4, which I think made probably the best recovery that it could. The animation was better. Like, there was only like maybe 1 or 2 spots in the episode where the animation was very bad. Aside from that, the animation, you know, it improved. The pacing kind of improved. It was still, I mean, there were still issues, don't get me wrong, but it showed improvement, and I think that's big. You know, there was an improvement made. If you want to get into the Uzumaki anime, I just say watch the first episode if anything, and you can leave the rest if you want. So now that we've talked about all the episodes, you know, like where did they go wrong? What happened? Like, everyone's clueless. We don't know why this even happened in the first place, especially considering that the creators, you know, they made a post, I think it was a tweet a while ago, like maybe in 2018, 2019, they said that they wanted to take their time with the anime. This was when they first delayed it, I think. First or second time they delayed it, they said they wanted to take time with the anime and deliver the best possible product that they can. So it's clear to me that they were being pressured and rushed by, you know, the higher production team or the higher ups, whoever's, you know, making the decisions up there. Now, at the time of this video, I did do some digging around, but I wasn't able to find much. I do know that the executive director, I believe it is, of Adult Swim, he made a post saying, you know, he can't really divulge any like details, but he did say that it basically came down to them deciding if they just wanted to release episode 1 and basically call it a day there, or they can just cancel the project altogether, which was another option. or they can try to finish rest of the episodes and kind of half-ass it and just release it, you know. Overall, it seems that they're stressing that it wasn't actually one person's fault, you know. There was multiple bad decisions that led up to this. What these decisions were, when they happened, and who, you know, authorized it or passed these decisions on, I don't know. Like, we don't know the exact details. Hopefully in the future we'll find out more. But during the time when this anime was airing, fans were able to pick up on the fact that, you know, like the staff changed. The animation staff kind of changed after the first episode. Essentially, the whole staff changed after episode 1, and it remained through episode 2, 3, and 4. So that basically tells us that, you know, the main people behind the show worked on it for one episode. That's why the first episode was so good. But after that, it just seems like they kind of outsourced it. So aside from the animation team and all that stuff, I do also think that they were too ambitious. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they only had 4 episodes. And on top of that, 20 minutes per episode, that's not gonna work, you know. They're gonna have to cut content and cut corners somewhere. But yeah guys, I just wanted to make this video talking about Uzumaki because, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Junji Ito's works. So I was hoping that this anime would be a banger, I had a lot of faith in it. But when all is said and done and the dust has settled, at least we still have one episode, one solid banger episode 1 of Uzumaki, It's very unfortunate, but it is, it is what it is. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer that they just cancel the anime altogether instead of, releasing this? Or do you prefer they just release episode 1 and then just stop? Or are you okay with it? Maybe you actually enjoyed it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think it was absolute disaster or train wreck. It was just a disappointment. Like a big disappointment to a lot of fans, including me. There were still some good moments in it in the later half. The potential and the fact that it could have been better, it's just sad to see. But anyway guys, that's it from me. Thanks again for tuning into this video. Sorry it's not about manga, but I did want to talk about this. I want to have a discussion, and if you guys have thoughts or things you want to say about this situation, please feel free to share down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit that sub button because I am pretty close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there, guys. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is your host, Rich Taku, and I am signing off.